Have you ever felt like you're just a character in a movie, and none of it is actually real? For INTPs, this isn't just a fleeting thought. It can be a full-blown survival mode. If you're an INTP, you know your mind is a universe of its own, full of theories and endless possibilities. But what happens when the outside world becomes too much, too loud, or just plain doesn't make sense? You unplug. This video is about why INTPs disconnect when life feels unreal, what that looks like, and how to find your way back to reality without losing yourself. We're going deep into the INTP psyche. So, buckle up. So, let's get into the mind of an INTP. At your core, you're driven by a thirst for understanding. You want to know how everything works, from the cosmos down to the code in a computer program. Your dominant function, introverted thinking, or T for short, is like an internal logic engine. It's constantly building and refining a mental framework of the world. Everything needs to fit perfectly, like puzzle pieces. When it doesn't, it's not just annoying. It's a fundamental problem. Now, imagine this highly logical, internally focused mind trying to deal with the messy, unpredictable, and often illogical reality of everyday life. People's emotions are rarely straightforward. Social rules can seem arbitrary. The world is full of contradictions. For an INTP, this can be incredibly draining. Your mind is trying to find the logical pattern in something that is inherently chaotic. It's like trying to solve a math problem where the numbers keep changing. This is where the feeling of unreality starts to creep in. It's a defense mechanism. When the external world becomes too overwhelming or nonsensical, the INTP mind has a brilliant escape hatch: the world of ideas. This is powered by your secondary function, extravagant intuition, or NI. NI is all about exploring possibilities, seeing connections, and brainstorming what asterisk could asterisk be. It's your creative playground. So, when reality gets tough, the INTP retreats into their teeny loop. You disconnect from the sensory world and plug into your internal one. It feels safer there. In your mind, you can control the variables. You can build entire worlds that follow your rules. This isn't just daydreaming, it's a full-on cognitive shift. You might start spending hours, or even days, lost in a new theory, a complex video game, a fantasy novel, or just a spiraling chain of thoughts. You're not just ignoring the world, you're replacing it with a better, more logical one. This state is often called it's a feeling of detachment from your surroundings. The world might look fuzzy, dreamlike, or 2D. You might feel like you're watching your life through a screen. This isn't a choice you're consciously making. It's your brain's automatic response to being overloaded. Think of it like a computer that's running too many programs at once. To prevent a crash, it starts shutting down non-essential processes. For an INTP, processing the messy, sensory external world is often the first thing to go. The problem arises when this disconnection becomes a default state. It's a comfortable trap. While you're safe in your mental fortress, life is happening without you. Relationships can suffer because people feel like you're not present. You might miss important opportunities because you were too lost in thought to notice them. Your physical health can even be affected. When you're disconnected from your body, you might forget to eat, sleep, or even just get up and move around. This brings us to a major challenge for the INTP: the grip of your inferior function, extraverted feeling, or This is your least developed function, and it deals with social harmony and connecting with others' emotions. When you're stressed and disconnected for too long, Phi can lash out in unhealthy ways. You might suddenly become uncharacteristically emotional, desperate for validation from others, or paranoid that everyone dislikes you. It's like a toddler throwing a tantrum because it's been ignored. Your subconscious is screaming for the human connection you've been avoiding. Let's look at a real-life example. Imagine an INTP named Alex. Alex works in a high-pressure office environment with lots of social politics. People are making decisions based on feelings, not facts. The constant noise and emotional demands are a nightmare for Alex's logical mind. To cope, Alex starts disconnecting. At work, Alex puts on headphones and dives into complex coding problems, ignoring the chatter. At home, Alex spends all night playing strategy games, building empires, and optimizing systems things that make sense. For a while, this works. Alex feels less stressed, but soon, Alex's manager calls a meeting. Alex's colleagues feel Alex is not a team player. They say Alex is arrogant and unapproachable. This feedback is a complete shock. Alex thought that by doing excellent work, everything would be fine. Now, faced with this emotional, illogical criticism, Alex's inferior Faye explodes. Alex either gets defensively angry, arguing with pure, cold logic that makes things worse, or completely shuts down. Convinced that they are a fundamentally broken person who can't connect with anyone, Alex feels more unreal and disconnected than ever. This is the danger of staying unplugged for too long. So, how do you, as an INTP, find your way back? How do you reconnect with the world without it feeling so overwhelming? The key isn't to kill your teen wonderland. That's your superpower. The key is to build a bridge back to reality. And that bridge is built with your third function, introverted sensing, or C. C is all about past experiences and sensory details. It's the function that helps ground you in your own body and in the present moment. It's often underdeveloped in INTPs, who prefer the abstract world of ideas. But consciously developing your C is the most effective way to combat that feeling of unreality. It starts with small, simple, physical actions. Instead of getting lost in thought first thing in the morning, take a moment to really feel the warm water in the shower. Pay attention to the taste and texture of your breakfast. When you go for a walk, put your phone away. Notice the feeling of the sun on your skin, the sound of the leaves, the specific shade of green in the grass. This isn't about deep meditation. It's just about paying attention to your five senses. These small acts of sensory engagement are like anchors. They pull your consciousness out of the clouds of abstraction and tether it to the physical world. Each time you focus on a sensory detail, you are telling your brain, "This is real. I am here. I am in my body." Another powerful C exercise is to create routines and rituals. INTPs often resist routines because they can feel restrictive to their free-flowing me. But a simple, comforting routine can be incredibly grounding. Maybe it's making the same type of tea every afternoon. Maybe it's a 10-minute stretching session before bed. These predictable, repeatable physical actions create a sense of stability and safety in the real world, not just in your mind. The ultimate goal is to find a balance. The climax of the INTP's journey isn't about abandoning their inner world. It's about integrating it with the outer world. It's about learning to be a philosopher who can also enjoy a good meal, a theorist who can also have a heartfelt conversation, a thinker who is also fully present in their own life. When you start to feel that sense of unreality creeping in, recognize it for what it is, a signal that your brain is overwhelmed. Don't judge yourself for it. Instead, see it as a cue to engage your senses. Get up from your desk, go outside for 5 minutes, touch a plant. Listen to a piece of music and focus only on the sound. Call a friend not to debate a theory, but just to ask how they are, and really listen to their answer. These actions reconnect you to the here and now. In essence, for an INTP, life can often feel like a simulation you're trying to debug. When the code is messy and illogical, your instinct is to retreat to a sandbox environment where you can build something that makes sense. But you can't live in the sandbox forever. The way to cope with the messy code of reality is not to ignore it, but to ground yourself in the physical hardware of your own body and senses. By using your introverted sensing, you can anchor yourself, making it possible to engage with the world's chaos without getting lost in it. You learn that reality might not always be logical, but it is where life, connection, and experience truly happen. Want to know which personality type INTPs are secretly drawn to? Find out in the next video.